Today in Cannabis News, the city of Ann Arbor announces September as Psychedelics Awareness Month. A Gallup poll finds that nearly half of adult Americans have smoked cannabis in some form. And New York officials confirm that New Yorkers can smoke cannabis at this year's state fair now that it has been legalized for adult use. It's Wednesday, August 18th, and this is your TRICHOMES Morning Buzz.
Broadcasting live from the TRICHOMES.com studios in Southern California. It's time for your Morning Buzz. We bring you late-breaking news that keeps you up to date with what's happening in the cannabis industry.
First up, September becomes Psychedelics Awareness Month in the city of Ann Arbor. Early this week, the City Council officially announced September as Entheogenic Plants and Fungi Awareness Month, nearly a year after the Michigan city voted to decriminalize a wide range of psychedelics. The measure was passed in a unanimous vote in hopes to bring awareness and understanding of the potential benefits of entheogens for mental health, personal, and spiritual growth. Following the decision, the city also elected that laws against psychedelics become among the city's lowest priority. In January, a county prosecutor stated that his office will not be pursuing charges for possessing marijuana or entheogenic substances regardless of the amount. In a statement, Julie Barron, the co-director of Decriminalize Nature Michigan and the executive director of Decriminalize Nature Ann Arbor, stated that she is pleased with the council's passage of the resolution, which shows their continued support for the local movement. Next up, in a recent poll from Gallup, the results concluded that nearly half of adult Americans have tried cannabis in some form, and over 1 in every 10 actively smokes cannabis. In a chart that compared cannabis usage between 1969 and 2021, the percentage of Americans who used cannabis stayed in the 30% area for decades. Now, within the last 5 years, the number has skyrocketed to almost half. The growth in the percentage can be attributed to the growth within the cannabis industry and the fact that nearly every state has some form of cannabis legalization. In the findings, Gallup pointed out that nearly as many Americans say they smoke marijuana as they smoke cigarettes. The results also broke down the percentages by age group of people who have tried cannabis between 2015 and 2021. As expected, Millennials, which is someone who was born between 1981 and 1996, topped the charts with 51%. Gen X, someone who was born between 1965 and 1990, was close behind with 49%. Baby Boomers, someone who was born between 1946 and 1964, at 50%. And the Traditionalists, anyone born before 1946, at the bottom of the list with 19%. These results show consistency among the different generations, and in a poll from earlier this year, Gallup found that 70% of Americans view smoking cannabis to be a morally acceptable activity. Last up, as a result of adult use cannabis legalization in the state of New York earlier this year, officials have officially announced that New Yorkers can consume cannabis at this year's state fair. A spokesperson for the fair stated that cannabis use is permitted anywhere tobacco use is permitted, and that both will be able to be smoked outside except for in the open concert venues. He also stated that we encourage those who smoke to be considerate of others around them. This is big news for New Yorkers. However, there are currently no licensed cannabis retail shops open in the state. Adults 21 years and older will be able to publicly possess up to 3 ounces of cannabis or 24 grams of cannabis concentrates and have no penalties for possession. The formal policy states smoking is not permitted in the following areas: in any building or undercover, in any of the picnic areas, within the confines of Kittyland, the Midway, the grassy area of Chevy Court, at the Veterans and 9/11 memorials, or within the state park at the fair. Smoking is permitted on fairgrounds and other general areas that are not prohibited by New York state law. Tobacco products will not be sold anywhere on the fairgrounds. That was today's Buzz. Thanks for listening. For more cannabis news and insights from industry professionals and a place to discuss these stories and others, visit TRICHOMES.com. And be sure to catch up with all of our other cannabis industry-related podcasts like Hash It Out, Tech and Cannabis, or the International Cannabis Conversation wherever you get your podcasts. For TRICHOMES.com, I'm Devin Leal. Have a great day.